of a disorder to the UK. There appears to be that how this whole thing started when two girls was unalived in Southport. But what seemed to turn out like it was for the girls turned into something else. Something sparked. Like, at first it took long to show the perpetrator of the girls. And we all know, like, when it comes to these kind of cases like that, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, indifferent. Everybody feels and knows what's happening. But yesterday was really quite crazy. Like, as I watched through the social media, how Hull got hit, I think, let's say, Hull, Liverpool, I think they said, Bristol, different parts of the country got hit with what seemed to be a face-off with two sets of protesters. Not only that, there's a lot of miseducation being spoken about, and the ignorance is quite big. So the protesters damaged a whole heap of space, a whole lot of stuff. Turned over cars, mashed up shops, looted shops, taken out shops, mashed up shoe zone. It looks very, very crazy. Stuff broken into, stolen. It's like they needed a reason to kick off. But to me, if you're for the children, and I'm saying with everybody else, when Lucy lets me unalive so many children, so many little ones, even not even was able to walk, not even be able to talk. Some of them very special. Where was this energy? Because fair enough, that boy, I believe, he did wrong. I mean, there's no excuse for it. To me, there's no excuse for what he did. And I'm sure with everybody else who have seen his picture, right, there's no excuse for what he did to the little girl, to the three girls. You know what I'm saying? They said he probably was in care, even though that's not even an excuse, right? But at the same time, the way how it got to a certain level yesterday, it was crazy. People filming from all different sides of Bristol, people finding from all different sides, I think, of Manchester. The crowds, it was like a face-off with the police. The police was in the middle of all of it. Then later on, a man, I think, as the pandemonium continued, people who weren't even part of anything, just walking minding their own business, was getting beaten up, or rushed, and everything else with it. People forget that how there's people pulling strings bigger than you. They will cause strife. They will be the solution to the problem, right? And it's so strange because as the same time as everything was being shown, right, one guy caught a army truck coming through some next side. It looked like an army truck, something similar to a Judge Dredd truck, right? But everyone's so busy, so caught up doing whatever. They're not, when you're not paying attention to what's going on, right? Things will slip through like the army truck. To me, this is just asking for martial law. And martial law won't be good because when you can't do what you want, when you're under a coup, or a coup in a supposedly Western country, is when it gets to a whole nother level. So even though you guys thinking that what you're doing is something good, you're not doing nothing good. What you're doing is literally locking yourself more up into whatever. I mean, we already seen it during the pandemonium, the pan whatever, the virusy time. And now it's like people's looking for any excuse to go out and kick in someone's head. Oh, well, oh, it's the immigrants. Oh, let's go kick in their heads. People are looking for a reason so they can say and wave their flag or whatever. No one's not saying that England is not England or whatever it is, right? Because loads of people has bought into England, has given their life to England, right? Even the other day, I looked up a man that worked for England as I think he was a soldier or whatever. So loads of people has fed into it. People are working in the economy, feeding their families, whatever they got to do. Fair enough. There is some bad ones. Yes, there is there's bad ones. But I don't blame it on everybody and everything that you have to come out and fight like gladiators on the streets of Manchester, Hull, Bristol, wherever. It was so mad. It was so mad. It's crazy because like that is underlined. That's something embedded in somebody. That racism is embedded, is put into. It's not when a child's little, they have no idea what color or race is until when they turn a certain age. And it's very frightening times. And I'm not saying what the boy did was right neither, because if I'll be thinking that I'll meet a parent will be very wrong. Those three girls didn't deserve to be unalived at all in no form or fashion. But the fact that the image is put out, right, that, and then I think they said it was misinformation of the boy, which sparked up all this in the first place, right? So now this morning they're doing a whole big cleanup of places, shopping areas, etc. Glass, cars broken into, probably set afire. It went to a whole nother level, and I'm thinking some of them live in different spaces of London, and they came back. They left their mess and came back to where they lived. Right. Even in one video, you see a youth breaking a rock or a brick, and walking into the other end of where the police is in the middle of them and throwing it, but you hear it. You don't see it, but you just see him breaking the rock. I don't know how they're gonna deal with this, how this is gonna pan out, how this is gonna look like to the other people living in England, UK, and all that. Oh yeah, no, what I forgot. So even though there was the racism, the racists, there was the ones who was against the racism, anti-racism, and like you can hear the two sides throwing words and stuff at each other. Couple people got arrested, but like I said, there's like been over a dozen people arrested from yesterday. I think the whole of yesterday, probably even more today, and I think there most probably might be another march, most probably, if they haven't gotten whatever they need to get out of their system that they needed to go rock crazy yesterday. So I'm just like, wow. They used to talk about the riots. They used to talk about back in the 80s, 90s, further on. And when you see it, I mean, fair enough, there have been riots before with Mark Duggan, but this one is more bigger because it's big adult men that is really doing a lot, doing the most. Even you're just thinking to yourself, oh yeah, and then they're targeting people, anybody who they think is Muslim, anybody they think who is from here, or anybody they think is from there. It's like, yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to prolong this live. I'm just going to leave it right there because I put up some of the videos from what I seen around the around certain social media spaces. Some people are very disgusted at it. Some people couldn't believe what was happening, what was going on. They couldn't believe it. They came out in their numbers. But there was a lot of youngsters there. There's a lot of young children, 16, 17, 20-year olds, in between all of this. There was a lot of them, like, standing with the police. Like, it was a standoff, you can say, going on. And it had nothing to do with the Southport girls. It had nothing to do with them. Nothing. They said they came out for the children, but did you really come out for the children, or did you just come out to let off your racism? But like I said, I'm just gonna come off. I'm not gonna stay on here long, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.